He's now Sean P. Diddy Epstein Combs. I mean, just trying to follow the story. Like, this is just like another thing with what's going on with this. Brian, have you been following it? Can you break down what the heck has happened to this guy?
This is what I know. The guy has had freak offs at his establishment. That's what he calls them. He calls them freak offs, where he hires dozens of professional sex workers and male sex workers, and then he has like celebrities over, and some of them were like very young, extremely young, questionably young, like Aaron Carter, rest in peace. I'm pretty sure he passed away. He committed suicide. And Justin Bieber, Usher, like we talked about before, people that were very young, and also girlfriends and people in the industry that were relying on him as their boss. Trying to get.
But what was? I mean, what got him in trouble?
Well, what he would do is during these freak offs, where for some reason they purchased 150 gallons of lube.
Yeah.
They would also be doing a ton of illicit drugs and drugging certain people that didn't want to maybe participate, having their way with those people in really crazy gay bisexual orgies, filming it, and either using it as his private stash or actually selling it as pornography.
Blackmail?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying blackmail. Ooh. Every room of his house had like cameras, like professional grade cameras. You couldn't go to that guy's house without getting filmed. You certainly couldn't get drugged by a mixture of cocaine and Vicodin, and then what's that ED medication? Viagra.
Okay.
They would drug people with like Viagra and cocaine, so that they were like up all the time, but their genitals were still functional, because like I guess when you do coke, your genitals don't function as well. So they would like fix that problem by just adding another drug to the cocktail. They would literally drug people, assault them, and then call it pornography, and then just say, when they would come out and say, "Listen, I got assaulted," he goes, "No, I have the video. You were a willing participant. You enjoyed it. You don't remember? You don't remember?" That kind of stuff. And he did it.
So the point was for him to make money off of pornography, or was it to have
no one really knows.
Over him?
I think some people are like, he's just a freak. Other people think that it was influence. Like he had information that he can utilize against you. Literal video evidence of you, having sex with a 17-year-old. In fact, on multiple occasions, multiple accounts of girls as young as 16 were dropped off by parents at P. Diddy's house for freak offs. And I'm pretty sure the parents didn't know what they were dropping their kids off for.
Wow. Yeah. Well, so Epstein had the same thing. So they said he was using it to maintain power over powerful people. So that's perhaps something similar. Well, of all the things he's got going on, the guy's already in prison. Apparently, another lawsuit just came out that says that Combs and a former bodyguard allegedly drugged, bound, and raped a woman in Combs's house recording studio in 2001. And of course, this is what happens when finally the dam breaks, all the water comes down. So every person who was wronged by him is going to come forward now that they're not fearful. And now
that he's in prison, he can no longer ruin their careers or their lives.
Right? Yeah, it's gonna all come down. So we can probably expect to see a lot more coming. Did you hear the thing where he's apparently not eating in prison either?
Yeah, he's on a hunger strike or whatever.
He's like on a hunger strike or something like. Listen, man.
I'm on a hunger strike, but I am not suicidal. All right, listen. I don't know what's going to go on with P. Diddy, but a lot of powerful people have been to a lot of his parties, including Jay-Z. A lot of musicians, very, very rich musicians, have been to his parties. Mm-hmm. And apparently, from eyewitness accounts, every one of his parties was a freak party. There was no party that was tame. There was no party that wasn't eyes wide shut. You know what I mean? Everyone was eyes wide shut in the hood. And if those people, and if there's actual video footage of LeBron James and Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez, who was married to this man, in these freak-offs, that is a lot of blackmail. That's a lot of dirt that one man has on you. So these are very powerful, very wealthy people. You don't think they can have this guy taken out in jail?
Yeah, I think so.
Come on. This is Epstein 2.0.
Yeah, 100%. So according to the lawsuit, the alleged attack followed after Combs called Graves directly in mid-2001 and asked her for a meeting to discuss her boyfriend's supposed performance issues. Wanting to help her boyfriend and already knowing Combs, Graves says she agreed to the meeting. It was evidently a sick and twisted way of using his ownership of the title at Bad Boy and its affiliate entities to abuse people. Combs allegedly arrived at Graves' residence a few hours later in an SUV driven by the bodyguard, Sherman. Graves says she accepted a glass of wine from Combs and quickly became lightheaded, dizzy, and physically weak. By the time the group arrived at the recording studio, Graves was struggling to walk. And when they reached Combs' office, Graves lost consciousness. And this is when the bad things happened to her. Wow. It says she alleged that she woke up. She was naked and bound with her hands tied behind her back with a plastic grocery bag. And she shouted for help. And the bodyguard slammed her face down into a pool table and it just gets bad from there. So, wow. So, P. Diddy's probably going to jail forever.
No. P Diddy is a monster. And, I didn't have that on my 2023, 2024 bingo. I didn't.
You didn't.
Hey, guys, Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs is actually an serial sexual criminal. I did not have that on my bingo card, but I gotta say, not totally surprised. You know what? I think you would be surprised. I think we would all be surprised if we actually knew what a lot of these celebrities were into, because I bet you it's some pretty heinous, depraved stuff.